I'm only needing one thing, and I think that might be you, my dear. I take you somewhere where the sun shines bright from the day to the nighttime. Hope you hear me loud and clear, cause I think I'm lost without you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Yeah. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started, breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from?
Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another live stream. So it is Tuesday, the 20th of August. And yeah, of course, we are going to take a look at the price of Bitcoin. We're going to go through the charts. We're going to take a look at what is going on, as we always do. And of course, if you guys do have any questions or you guys want to look at anything, please do, yeah, feel free to put that in the chat as well. And I will be more than happy to, yeah, take a look at anything that you guys want to look at. But yeah, at the same time, answer any questions that that you guys may have as well. So yeah, make sure that you do put those in the chat if you do have any of those. But yeah. Of course, before we jump into it, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you as well. And of course, if you are new to the channel as well, make sure that you do subscribe and turn that bell notification on. And yeah, once we've got all that sorted, let's jump straight on into the analysis and see what is going on, right? So for me, I'm still very much long. Okay, nothing has really changed, right? I'm still long on the market. I'm remaining patient, really, because I do still feel that we can go higher here. I do still feel that we can go higher, and it's just all about patience here, right? And today, right, we have had another rise towards the upside. Okay, and where have we come to? We've come to the value area low, right? We've come to that value area low of the initial fixed range that we are trading within, and what are we doing off of it again, right? We are rejecting off of that value area low once again. So this is, you know, again, a really strong level of resistance, and yeah, that's why I previously took a TP1, right? I took a TP1 at this value area low level because, you know, I do understand that it can act as very strong resistance, and this is exactly what we're doing right now. Okay, we're using it as very strong resistance. Again, you know, we've seen some nice long trades come in on the way up, but yeah, once we came into this value area low, right, we're seeing those longs taking profit, and we actually saw this time around, we saw some shorts opening up as well. Not a huge amount of short trades opening up, but we did see short trades opening up. So yeah, that's of course going to drive price down as well. So this is currently where we are. It's pretty boring, but yeah, it's just a matter of patience, right? It's just literally patience. For me here, there are no high probability trade setups. If you know me by now, you know I like to look for the highest probability trade setups. If there are no high probability trade setups, I'm not going to take a trade, right? I've learned my lesson a few years ago, right, from taking trades when you shouldn't be taking trades. I know, okay, that I wait for what I like to look for, and what I like to look for are the high probability trade setups, exactly like the long trade that we took from down here, high probability long trade setup. So I took that long trade setup, right, and as you can see, it has been really successful. Right now, from here, okay, yes, we had a little bit of an intraday short trade actually from here. Okay, I didn't actually take that short trade because I understood it was only just an intraday, and I'm actually still looking for higher prices. But yeah, other than that, there have been no, in my eyes, high probability trade setups. So for me, again, it's just patience, right? I'm in a good position. Okay, and the team as well. We are in a good position, right? I've literally been walking through with the team, through this, right? When I was taking that swing long from the failed auction, okay, I've taken that trade there, where from there, right, we remained patient. I updating them, right, value area low at approximately $61,500 is that first target, right? That's when price was all the way back down at $55,000. And yeah, as you can see here, we're seeing rise, like we're anticipating, okay, and then we come up to that value area low, and then we realize that TP1. Okay, so yeah, again, what happened in between entering into that trade and then tapping this target? Okay, well, it was patience, right? It was time and just patience. So it goes to show, right? Patience is a big part of the success as well. If you're not patient, you can very, very easily destroy yourself, right? Because if you're not patient and you're not waiting for the highest probability trade setup, okay, i.e., entering into a trade now, then you're most likely going to get pulled the wrong way. You're most likely going to be on the wrong side of the market. Okay, so the best opportunities are to look for the highest probability trade setups. And sometimes you do have to wait patiently for them, but they will come. And yeah, in the long run, they will be a lot more profitable. Let's say a lot more profitable. So yeah, again, like I said, we're in a good position. I'm in a good position. The team should be in a good position as well, right? We are currently long, and it's we've realized a TP1. We've moved the stop loss to entry, so completely risk-free trade. If we come down and we get stopped out at entry, fine, okay, right, I lose what is unrealized, but I still have that $2,000 realized. So yeah, it's just I'm in a good position. I'm not really too fussed on where price goes. I'm not really too worried about not being in another trade. And this is a big thing that a lot of people will have problems with, right? When they don't see a setup, when a setup doesn't show, okay, what do? Well, they force it. Okay, they try and force a trade, or they just enter into a trade for the sake of it. Okay, I've been through that. Okay, I understand it. But it's having the discipline to not do that. Okay, and the discipline to just sit and remain patient and wait. Okay, it's tough. It is tough, right? It is tough. But once you can get past that, once you can get that discipline, it's pretty simple. And it goes with every aspect of your life, right? If you're going to the gym, you need discipline to go every single day. Okay, and it's the same with trading. You need that discipline to stick to your rules. Okay, for example, sticking to those rules are really going to help you. So for me, I understand. Yes, okay, it's a bit boring at this time, but then what we have to remember, okay, is that we're in a good trade, right? We are in a good trade. We're in a good position. So there is no need to be worried at all, or be anxious that we're not in a trade. Okay, we're in a good position, and it's a free trade now, right? It's a free trade, so there's no reason, again, to be worried, to be anxious about not being in a trade. We do see times like this where price is just consolidating sideways and we're not really getting any setups. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. You do get those periods here and there, and again, it's just patience. You just need to get through that. This is, to be honest with you, this is quite a good situation to be in my eyes anyway, because I'm in a long trade from the low. Okay, I have a plan, right? If higher, of course, taking profit on the long trade, right? And I also have a plan if we pull back. Okay, I have another long trade set up that I'm looking for. Okay, so at this moment in time, like I feel like I'm in a really, really, really good position. If you're not in a trade right now, then I understand. Okay, yes, you may be feeling that, that bit of FOMO, okay, that you're not in a trade, you're not taking advantage of this, but that's fine, right? Okay, the trade to have had was from here. That's fine. You've missed the trade. Accept that, right? I have to accept that sometimes, right? Remember the short trade from up here, okay, that I was talking about in the daily market update with the team on the 29th, right? This is the short trade that we were talking about, right? I missed that trade. Okay, I missed that trade, and yeah, it's frustrating. Okay, but it's part of the game, right? You can't take every single trade, right? You're not gonna have access to, your exchange or your computer at every single second of the day. Okay, sometimes you're gonna be busy doing something else. You're gonna be asleep, right? So, there are exceptions for missing trades. Yes, okay, if you're missing too many trades because you're doing something, that you're doing something instead of trading when you're supposed to be trading, not including sleep, right? Because of course you have to sleep. But say you're going out, and just yeah, trying to enjoy your day, okay, and you completely forget about the charts, and then maybe you miss 1 2 3 trades, then yeah, okay, that's when you need to look at, all right, I'm doing something wrong here. I cannot be away from the computer at times like this, when I should be at the computer and looking for those trades, right? But again, this is the odd occasion where you can think to yourself, right, okay, I've missed this trade, fine, right? I know there's another trade coming. So, this is what I can say to you right now. If you're not in this trade, this long trade here, okay, or this intraday short trade that was from there, okay, if you're not in either one of those trades, right, fine, okay, don't FOMO into a trade, right? Don't get FOMO'd in trade. Remain patient and wait for that next high probability trade setup, right? I'm talking you guys through these high probability trade setups. Okay, today's I'm a little bit different today. I think I won't go into too much detail with things because I understand I've kind of been saying the same thing for how long now? Ever since like the August. So yeah, for quite some time now, almost yeah, over 10 days now. I've been saying the same thing, so I understand, yeah, it can get a little bit boring, right? But the plan remains the same. I'm in a trade. What's more to it, right? There's nothing really much to it. I'm in a trade, so there's no reason to be worrying about another trade, right? Of course I have my plans. Okay, we come up higher, I take more profit on the long trade, maybe move my stop loss up a little bit higher as well. So if we do end up pulling back, then I can close that trade out for even more profit rather than just letting all of that unrealized profit go to waste. But of course, yeah, if we come up and I'm looking for another take profit at $67,000, right? What have we got? Okay, we've got a possible short set up from up here. Why? Okay, well, like I've been saying for a very long time now, the trend is your friend until the end, so trade the trend until the end. Okay, you can say it both ways as well. I understand I say it both ways, but the trend at this moment in time, okay, is lower high and lower lows, right? So what are we expecting? We're expecting this trend to continue, right? So we're expecting continuous lower highs and continuous lower lows as long as we are in this trend, right? Of course, yes, I understand that we can break this trend, okay? And then I can say, right, we've broken this trend, we can look to all-time high now, okay? We can look towards all-time high. But as long as we are still in this trend, I'm looking for this trend to continue. So I'm looking for another lower high for a short trade setup, like we had the short trade setup from here, which unfortunately I did not take, but we had the short trade setup from here, which I took, and we had the short trade setup from there, which I took as well, okay? So yeah, I'm looking for the exact same thing, going back to it. Trade the trend until the trend ends, because the trend is your friend until the end, right? That is, those are just words to live and swear by, right? They are very, very basic, okay? And I understand a lot of people say the trend is your friend until the end. but they are very, very important words. Okay, very important words. Like I say a lot as well, sometimes it's good to strip back the advanced analysis, okay, and just look at the basics. Just go back to the fundamentals. Look at those basics. Look at market structure. Okay, look at Elliott Wave. I understand it's a little bit more advanced. Okay, but again, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? So yeah, Elliott Wave's another really, really good tool where, again, it doesn't help you enter into a trade. It just gives you a good idea on where price is most likely going to go. And recently, we've been using it quite a lot. I understand at this moment in time, I'm not really looking at another Elliott Wave count at this moment in time. But previously, right, we were looking at the Elliott Wave count, right, and that helped us enter into trades, right, because it gave us an understanding of where price is most likely going to go. Of course, it didn't actually, give us the trade entry signal, the trade entry trigger. Okay, that's where we need the advanced analysis to get that entry trigger, okay, that sniper entry trigger. But yeah, like I said, it gives you a good understanding on where price is most likely going to go. So yeah, for me right now, okay, it's still patience. It's still looking for higher prices. I still feel as though we can go higher from here. I know that we're really, really struggling to get above that value area low. I understand. But I'm still holding 50% of the long open, right? I had around $4,500 in the trade initially. Of course, I closed around 45 to 50% of the trade. So I've realized over 50% of the trade, right? And yeah, I still have 50% in there. Why? Okay, because I'm still quite confident that we're going to see price move higher. Okay, I am still quite confident in that. And even if, right, we get a pullback here, I would still be looking for another rise up at this moment in time. Of course, right, if we see a huge pullback on the stock market or we get some huge bearish news coming out, right, I understand, right, we could go lower from here. I know that, but yeah, where we are right now, okay, I just feel like we could go higher for another short trade, right? I'm liking what we're forming here. Okay, I am liking what we're forming here. We've got lots of absorption where we are right now, lots of absorption. So there are some big players. Okay, there are big whales, institutions, whoever they may be. Okay, they do have lots of big buy limit orders. When price is pulling back, okay, they are getting triggered. How do we know this, right? Well, if we take a look at exo charts and we come over to we can take a look at the 6 hour, I guess. Okay, you can see that over time, Bitcoin is building this very bullish structure. Okay, this very bullish structure. Is this going to work? It doesn't. Let me just refresh it. No, for some reason it's playing up a little bit today, but we can still see it, right? We're getting this kind of like bullish structure on Bitcoin with a low, okay, a higher low, higher low, higher low, right? And we're coming back to form another low here, okay, possibly a higher low. And as prices forming this bullish structure, okay, these consistent like higher lows, right? We can see that the CVD is ticking down over time, right? So we know that there is more shorts opening up, okay, or sells coming into the market in this period here, okay, than there was on this move down here. Okay, and you have to remember there was a lot of sell coming into the market on this move down, right? Why? Because a lot of long trades were getting wrecked, right? So for me, right, this is just blatantly obvious absorption, and I do consider this quite bullish, and I do think we can see higher prices from here. I do believe that, right? So again, it's just remaining patient, waiting to see whether we do get that. Okay, again, I'm in a good position where I've realized $2,000 already and then moved the stop loss to entry. So even if we do come back down and stop my trade out, right, it's still going to be a profitable trade, right? There's no way that winning trade can turn into a losing trade, which is which is always really, really nice. It's always really important to try and get yourself into a position like this. And that's what I strive for every time I'm entering into a trade, right? I'm entering in to get myself, to getting myself into a position such as the one I'm in now, where I'm in a profitable trade where I've already realized some profit, but then I've moved the stop loss to entry. Okay. That's what I strive for, right? I don't strive for, profitable trades, right? I strive to get myself in a position like this. Of course, that does then, it does drive you to get into a profitable trade, right? But this is the position where I feel most comfortable, right? And this is a position that I always like to be in, right? Again, taking a TP1, move the stop loss to entry, guaranteed a profit from the trade. Okay, of course, it can be difficult to get yourself in a position like this, right, on a consistent basis, right? It's not all that hard to get yourself in a position like this, but then it's like, okay, how many losses have you taken before you've got yourself in a position like this, right? I'm quite confident on saying that I can get myself in this position, right, on a consistent basis, okay, and that is the goal, right? Because from here, okay, from this position that I'm in now, there is no wrong answer, right? There is no wrong, okay? There is only right with this, okay? I was right, okay? There is now no wrong, okay? Maybe I'll lose some profit, okay? But I'm not losing any capital, okay? It's only profit, okay? So from here, this position, you cannot be wrong. Again, you've taken a TP1, move the stop loss to entry. So getting yourself in a position like this is always a very, very important thing in trading. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't talk about as well. Getting yourself in a position like that, okay, a free trade, where you've already cemented profit is a very important thing, and I don't ever hear people talking about it. But being able to get yourself in a position like this on a consistent basis, okay, is very, very profitable in the long run, right? Because again, like what I like to do, right? I say this a lot. I always like to leave bits in my trade, okay? I always like to leave bits, a little bit of capital. Why? Okay. Well, this here, okay, this could be, the low, right, of this pack in the bull market. Okay, this could be the low of the pullback in the bull market, right? What could happen, right? We could go all the way up to 90K from here, right? And of course, being in a position from $54,000, okay, taking that up to 90K, that's an amazing position to be in. Okay, and of course, really, really profitable trade, right? So again, you're looking for these. Again, I opened this as a swing trade. I did open this trade as a swing trade, but it could become some mega swing trade if price does not come down and stop this trade out. So again, it's over the long term, right? It's a very, very, very good position to be in. Okay, a very good position to be in. So again, like I said, I always strive to get myself in a position like this because I understand, right, that over the long term, okay, I had a trade open from. They are closed now. I had a trade open from $41,000 and $51,000. Okay, and those trades were just swing trades that turned into some much, much bigger trades. Okay, and I took those all the way up to 70K. Okay, all the way down from like 41K and 51K. Did I know that those trades were gonna take us up to 70K? No, okay, I didn't know that, but I had a little bit of capital in there, right? But that little bit of capital, okay, I fully took advantage of, right? And the return off of the capital that I had off of there was just absolutely insane, right? That can happen, right? You can have $200 margin left in a trade, okay, that you've entered into at $41,000, right? And you can have a few thousand profit, right, once you get up to 70K, right? So a very, very small amount of margin, okay, can actually turn into a huge amount of profits, right? A huge amount of profit. Again, like I said, if you leave a little bit in the trade, right, and you just let that ride, okay? If price wants to continue going up and you're in a long trade, okay, just let it go. Okay, just let it go. Move your stop loss above entry, at entry, right? You realize a TP1, okay? and just let the rest of that trade ride. Okay, that's a really again, it's something that I don't feel a lot of people talk about as well, but it's something that I implement. Okay, and I find that works really, really well, because again, sometimes maybe I'll only have $500 left in a trade. Okay, just a very small portion of the initial trade that I entered into. Okay, but that $500 can turn into a few $1,000s on a big enough move. Okay, so taking advantage of that is really important, right? And again, what are you risking? Okay, you're risking nothing. Okay, you're risking absolutely nothing, because you're taking a TP1, you're taking a TP2, you move your stop loss to entry, right? What are you risking? You're risking a little bit of profit. Okay, it's a completely risk free, but it's a very, very profitable thing in the long run, right? Of course, this game, it's not a get rich quick scheme. A lot of people think it is. It's not, right? You're playing the long game here. Okay, you are playing the long game. I myself, right, I trade far less, right? Trade far less than I did when I was unprofitable, right? And I was consistently losing money. Right? I trade much less now. Why? Because I'm only looking for the highest probability trade setups now. Right? I'm not looking to get into a trade just for the sake of it. Right? It's more of, okay, I know what works. I'm sticking to that. Right? Those are my rules. Okay, the highest probability trade setups are what work, so I'm going to take those. So again, going back to it, right here, there's just no trades here. There's just no trades here. Okay, I've got my plan, right? I know the short trade I'm looking for. Okay, of course, this may not be the short trade, right? We may get a short trade a little bit lower. Okay, we do have some. We do have some important levels a little bit lower, right? I do understand that, but yeah, at this moment in time, $67,000. It just seems like quite a nice target at that POC, but we remain patient, okay, and we see, because we may see an incredible amount of long trades open up at, let's say like $65,000, okay, where we have the mid range as well. Right, then we start to see price pull back a little bit, okay, where we then have lots of trap longs at the high. They are forced to cover, which pushes price lower. So this is, another setup that we could be looking for possibly as well. It all depends on where the retail traders are. I'm looking for where the retail traders are thinking, let's FOMO buy. Okay, of course, they're not thinking that. They're thinking, oh, let's get into the best long position in the world. Okay, no, right? What they're really doing is entering into a FOMO long trade, right? That's what I want to look for. I want to look for when those retail traders are FOMOing in, okay? Once I see that, I'm like, okay, right, now I wait for the entry trigger. Once I get the entry trigger, right, I take that trade, okay? And the majority of the time, we are right. Why? Because the majority of the time, retail traders are wrong, okay? So if we're trading against them, okay, and trading when they are about to get wrecked, okay, or looking like they're about to get wrecked, okay, you're going to win the majority of the time. So, yeah, that's a possibility. It just all depends, right? It all depends on the order flow, okay? I need to see what the order flow is like. I can't determine where I'm going to take the trade from. I need to see what the order flow is looking like on the rise. I want to see millions and millions and millions of longs opening up on this rise, and then I want to see, some sort of failed swing failure pattern where we then leave a lot of these trap traders. We could also do it we could also see lots of trap traders coming into like a GP 786 level, and we could also get absorption there as so that's something that we could also see. There are lots of setups that we can for. I do not know which setup I'm going to take. I do not know which setup's going to play out. I do not know any of this, right? I just need to know what's happening in the time. Okay, once we get to those key levels that I have marked out, right? And once we get to those key levels, I then look at what those FOMO retail traders are doing. Are they FOMOing long? Okay, if they are, great. Okay, now I wait for that entry trigger, right? Now I wait to see when they are offside, okay, when they are underwater, right? Once I spot them being underwater, once I spot them offside, okay, that's when I enter, okay? Not before, not after, as soon as I see it, okay, as soon as I see it. Yeah, again, for the long trade, it's just, it's kind of the same thing, right? looking for that absorption into a key level. Not necessarily needing to see lots of shorts come in, to be perfectly honest with you. But it would always help if we do see that and then those shorts get trapped. It does always help. So the stock market is pulling back, okay, which is, why we're probably seeing Bitcoin pull back. But yeah, where are we rejecting from? Once again, we are rejecting from that value area low. It's very, very tough to get above this level. Once we do get above this level, okay, I think, and we reclaim it, okay, not just get above it, we need to reclaim it. Okay, once we do reclaim it, I think $67,000 could be quite a nice target for us. And then, of course, we have to remember lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, another lower high, possibly. So we look for the short trade. If we don't get the short trade, fine. Okay, maybe we go higher. If we do see the short trade setup, we take the short trade setup, because we have to understand that there's a high probability chance that price is going to go down again. Okay. So yeah, these are all things that I'm just trying to make you aware of, right? Because these are things that I am I'm making myself aware of. Okay, I'm literally sharing with you everything that I am looking at, and I am focusing on to help me profit in these markets. These are the important levels right now. Again, I'm not trading where we are now. I don't see it as a high probability trade if I'm taking a trade from here. Okay, because what we have to realize is, okay, yes, we're consolidating sideways, but we're not really ranging in a parallel channel, to say, right? Because again, we zoom out here, we're ranging, right? But we're not really ranging like I would like us to be ranging, where we where we're forming like higher highs but also lower highs, okay, where we're constantly taking out range high and range low. Let me just draw it out for you, right? So let's say this high came up here, okay, and let's say this this low. So we have been taking those out, but then this high then came and took out this high here. So you're forming again like higher highs here and lower lows here. Why? Because you're range trading, right? You're taking out the previous, you're taking out the range high to then take out the range low, to then take out the new range high, to then take out the new range low, right? We're not even doing, so it's, we're not doing this on the 12-hour, but we're not doing it here either, okay? But at the same time, we're not getting any absorption coming in here, okay? Getting absorption in at the lows here, but I'm already in a long position, like I said, and I'm happy with how long I am. So I'm not worried, I'm not stressed about entering into a new long trade. But for me, even here, there's no real short trade, I don't think. To be perfectly honest with you, not all that interested in it. I do understand we have a PDV set up today, so previous day value. So we have the daily open above the previous day value area high. If we get accepted into that, we can look towards $58,000. Not something I would trade. Why? Well, where's our stop loss going to be? Who knows? Our stop loss is going to be all the way up at like $61,000, and then the risk to reward on that trade is just absolutely terrible, right? So yes, we can be looking for that, right, $58,000, but I'm not going to trade it because it's just not a setup. It's not a setup I would ever take. When I say that, okay, this is what the trade would look like, kind of, just to give you a bit of an example, right? Your stop loss would be like this, and your take profit would be like that. That's a trade that I would never ever take, ever. Okay, so yeah, that's why I wouldn't be shorting that PDV. Let's have a look at the chat quick. Eric, good to see you back, my friend. Retail's now looking this big bull flag on bigger time frame. A lot of YouTubers talking about this. They will be longing the breakout. Exactly, Eric. Exactly. That is it, right? So, well, first of all, we have two. Okay, we do have two. So I'm looking at this big bull flag on the bigger time frame. So yeah, if you're talking about the bigger time frame, I'm guessing you're talking about this, right? So this on the 12-hour, okay? Because of course we do actually have the same thing on this lower time frame here. We do have a bull flag. Why is it a bull flag? Well, we're consolidating towards the side, right? So we do also have a bit of bull flag pattern forming here. I do understand that. But yeah, just talking about the one that Eric talking about, the bigger time frame one. Yeah, exactly, right. And this lines up with what I'm saying about a short trade from all time high, okay, or a short trade on the front run of all time high. Okay, so let's say we do come up, we break the bearish structure because we get above 70K. We break out of this, okay? Maybe we come above $72,000, right? We've got these highs at $72,000. We've even got these highs, this high here at $72,800, okay? But yeah, let's just say we come up, we take out these highs, right? And on this breakout here, we have a lot of long trades. Why do we have a lot of long trades? Okay, well, people are first of all anticipating all-time high, which is just under $74,000. Okay, so everybody wants to get in on the action, so they are longing, okay, into all-time high. And what are they going to think? Okay, they're going to think, oh, we're going to break all-time high. This is it. We're going to 100K, right? When the reality of it is that, okay, you are longing, right, on the way up here, okay, and then you see an incredible amount of stupid long trades open up at the high, right? And then what happens? Okay, what happens to those traders, right? As soon as price pulls back a little bit, right, just a little bit, okay, that can be a catalyst, right, for these retail traders to become very emotional and very fearful, right? When they get emotional, when they get fearful, they get instantly scared out of their trade, right? When a long trade has to cover, they sell into the market, so they push the price lower. Okay, and then of course, right, what is this move up supposed to be relied on? Okay, well, it's supposed to be relied on new longs opening up. Why? Okay, well, because we had a rubbish move down, so there are no shorts to squeeze out. Okay, so this rise can only be fueled by new long trades. Okay, so if price starts to pull back, we're having those long trades cover, selling into the market, right? What are they then doing? They're pushing it into the next lot of longs who are selling into the market and selling, right? It's just that domino effect, right? I won't go into it too much like I normally do, okay? Because I understand, right? I do talk about it a lot, but it's something that we have to be aware of, right? Because it's what happens. It's what moves the markets, right? Who else out there talks about this? Who else talks about who actually moves the markets other than these people talking about a breakout of a triangle, right? That's not what moves the markets, right? It's really not what moves the markets. Okay, there are very few people out there. I can count the amount of people out there who talk about this on one single hand. Okay, and it doesn't even fill up one hand, right? I can't even count them all with one. With one hand. There's probably about 3, okay, that I know that actually talk about how markets really work, okay, and that and that's why a lot of these people are getting wrecked at these highs here, okay, because there's not enough people talking about it. It's not, there's too much breakout traders out there. Okay, there's too many breakout traders out there, and not enough people who are actually talking about what really goes on. Okay, but also there's not the people that do talk about this, like myself, right? It's not entertaining enough, right? It's not entertaining enough for people. Okay, they like the easy stuff. They like the breakouts. Okay, they like the back tests and the bounces. Okay, to get into the trades, right? And they like the easy, simple stuff, right? They don't like to learn the more complicated things, which again, is why they get wrecked the majority of the time. But yeah, exactly what Eric said there, right? They're going to be longing the breakout here, and this could be what leads to a big correction, right? Yes, okay. When I've been saying, if we break this bearish market structure, we can look towards all-time high, okay, but it's exactly what happened back here, okay, exactly what happened back here, right? I was saying here, right, we can be looking for all-time high, right? But I had to very quickly change my bias because I realized that everybody was looking for all-time high. So I had to think to myself, right, if everyone's looking for all-time high and we're pulling back here, right, this is a really good opportunity to short, actually. So I shorted this, right, and I took advantage of this big pullback here because I understood, right, that everybody, okay, was getting bullish. Everybody was getting long. And this is what you have to understand in these markets. When everybody is bullish, right, when everybody is long, you shouldn't be longing, right? You are too late to it, okay? You are too late, right? This is when you should be looking for a short trade, and the vice versa. When everybody's bearish, when everybody's looking for lower prices, when everybody's short, okay, you're too late to short, right? You're too late. You should be looking for a long trade. It doesn't mean that you instantly take a long trade. No, okay, you need to look for a long trade setup, right? You need to wait for price to settle and give you your setup, right? But it gives you an indication of, right, let's not short, let's look for a long trade, i.e. here, okay? Let's not look for a long trade, let's look for a short trade, right? Because we understand the whole market was so bullish. The whole market was looking for all-time high. And that's exactly what's going to happen if we break up here and we get loads of long trades opening up. The majority of the market is going to be looking to all-time high. They're going to be expecting 80, 90, 100K, 120K. But, okay, if everybody is long, okay, they're most likely going to all be on the wrong side of the market, which is going to push price down. Because again, these are retail traders we're talking about here. They get emotional very, very quickly. And I know that they get emotional very quickly because I was once one of those retail traders. Okay, so I know from personal experience. And I'm sure that every single one of you watching this who has entered into a trade, at least one trade in their life, has had that exact same feeling of emotions coming in and affecting your trades, you getting fearful and scared of losing money. Okay, that has happened to every single trader. Okay, so every single trader should understand that. Okay, and it's just about, right, not doing that, right? Not doing that, doing the opposite to that, doing what got you to feel that way. Okay, what made you feel that way? Don't do that. Okay, do the opposite. Okay, it's exactly like, right, say you were eating some sort of food, right, that was constantly making you feel sick. Okay, why would you continue to eat that food? Right, eat something else. Same thing, right? Same principle here. Okay. If you're constantly doing something that's not working, why do you keep doing it? Okay. Do the opposite, do something else. Right. And that's, exactly, again, what I talk about all of the time here, right? We're not looking to enter into a long trade on a breakout when everybody's long, right? Because first of all, you've missed the long trade if you're longing a breakout up here. You've missed it. Right? Why? Because the long trade was it. Well, the long trade is the long trade that we're in now. Okay, the long trade is this long trade here. Why? Okay, because it's the long from the low. Right? A lot of people out there say you can't perfectly predict the low and the high of a move. Okay, well, I kind of disagree with that. I think you can to an extent. Of course, you can't perfectly predict where it's going to be. Okay, but you can have a pretty good understanding of where it is. Okay, again, going back to the last few big swing trades I've taken, I've shorted this. Okay, well, we can go back even further. Actually, I shorted this. I've longed this. I've shorted this. Right, I've longed this. I've shorted this. I've longed this. I didn't short this, but I gave the setup, right, and then I've longed this. Okay, so you can see here, right, I've shorted almost every single high and I've longed pretty much every single low. Okay. And you see people out there that say you can't perfectly predict where the low of the move is going to be. I disagree with that. I think you can have a pretty good understanding, right? Of course, I didn't know that this was going to be the low down here at whatever it was, just under $89,000, right? I didn't know that was going to be the low. Okay. But then I got the setup here and I understood my probabilities. Okay. And I understood that the probabilities are more likely that price is going to go up rather than down. Okay. And it ended up, okay, because of probabilities, it ended up being the low. And that's what happened with every single trade. Okay. So again, when you're looking at a huge amount of trades coming in, right? For example, here, loads of long trades did open up on this move up, right? I'm looking at these long trades and saying, yeah, open up, open up, open up. Okay, why? Because I'm in a long trade from the low, right? These are all late longs. I know that they're going to get wrecked at some point, okay? But I need them at this moment in time. They're pushing price higher. Okay, great, right? Keep coming in. But then I understand, right? I'm looking for a short to then completely destroy you, right? So again, it's just doing what everybody else isn't doing. Okay, that's the key to success in these markets. Again, everybody got wrecked on this move down, right? We didn't, right? Why did we not get wrecked on this move down? Okay, because we understood, right, that there was a short trade from here. We understood when we had to take profit on this move up. Okay, but we also understood, right, that when everybody's getting wrecked, it offers a perfect opportunity to be entering into a long trade, right? So we then long this. Okay, so it's kind of, yeah, it's literally just doing what everybody else isn't doing. Okay, doing the opposite of what the majority of the market is doing is a very, very important thing to understand. You are right. Everyone talking like Michael Saylor and BlackRock moving the markets. Yeah, again, right? It's it's just a common thing that you see in the markets, and even big people talk about this, like people that are high up, right? They say that traders that are high up, okay, they say that there are people, there are institutions, there are market makers manipulating the markets, and I mean, like, to an extent, a little bit, right? But they're not fully manipulating the markets, right? They are pushing the market in a direction slightly, ever so slightly. Okay, but what is really going on is that the retail traders, okay, are the ones moving the markets, right? Why? Okay, well, perfect example of what has just happened here. Right? How many retail traders long this move up? Right? How many retail traders long this move up? Right? We can go and have a look. Okay. I did talk about this yesterday as well. Okay. But yeah, going back to it, right? Everybody thinks, right, that it is big players, market makers who are manipulating the markets, right? I can tell you for a fact, right, that it is not, right? They nudge the market, okay? They don't manipulate and send the market in one place, right? They push the market, they test the waters, right? And then it's the retail traders, okay, who are emotional, who are fearful, who are then the ones that move the markets, right, and completely destroy themselves. The retail traders, what the retail traders, I understand I'm a retail trader as well. I understand we're all retail traders, but here we don't like to think like a retail trader. But retail traders who think like a retail trader always blame, okay, the big players for their losses. They say, oh, the big player knew where my stop loss was and was purposely out there trying to trigger my stop loss. No, it's not. No, it's not it. You've destroyed yourself. Why have you destroyed yourself? Well, because you've entered into a terrible trade, okay, an absolutely terrible trade, because you've longed a breakout or shorted a breakdown. That in itself is just a terrible trade because you've missed the move. You've already missed the move there, right? And then you very quickly got fearful, very quickly got emotional, okay, and then you've covered out of your trade. But at the same time, right, you're also doing what everybody else is doing, right? That's another mistake that you're making, right? Retail traders just make, sorry, there's a helicopter going over, but retail traders just make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, okay? And they constantly blame it on the market makers. They constantly blame it on manipulation, right? I understand, yes, there's a slight element of manipulation going on, right? But they have the right to do that, right? What you have to understand is these big players, they have the right to do that. Everybody has the right to be in these markets, okay? And what they're doing is they're just entering into their trade, okay, because they have the right to, because they're allowed to. Right? That's what they want to do. Right? And yes, they're nudging the market a little bit because they have a large amount of capital, okay? But it's then the retail traders, okay? And I can prove that to you, right? I can prove it to you here, okay? So on this huge move up, right, just to give you a bit of context, right, we were long from the low. Just to give you a bit of proof as well, right, we can go when was it entered? So it was entered into the 6th of July, if I remember correctly. 6th of July, here we are. Here was the long trade setup that I entered into from that previous low, okay? This low back here. All right, let's just make it look similar. So let's zoom out, right? Here, so this was the low that I longed right there, okay? This was the setup we were looking at. We entered into that long trade, okay? And that was the long trade to be in, okay? You can see price started to rise. You can see, right, lot of trades opening up. Right? We have, 6 million. Well, let's go back a little bit further, okay? We can see, about 8 million opening up there, 6 million opening up there, 6 million, 9.2. we then get 15 million, 23 million, 35 million, 25 million, 9 million, 48 million, 39 million. Okay, we get 29 million, 47 million, right? We then get 34 million, we then get 19 million. So you can see an incredible amount of long trades are opening up on this move up, and then 55 million to finish it off up here. Right, so you can see an incredible amount of long trades are opening up here, right? And again, 55 million at the high of the move. 55 million long trades opened up at the high. What happened in the next candle? Right, in the next candle, we saw 77 million, right, long trades getting wrecked. How do we know these were long trades getting wrecked? Well, open interest decreased, negative delta, price is at a high. Right, so we know these are long trades getting wrecked, okay, because we saw a big candle pullback. Sorry, I understand. Yes, if we so let's say this candle ended in a green candle and it was up, and we saw 77 million negative delta with open interest decreasing, right? We would think, right, okay, that's longs taking profit. But in this case, because we're at a high and we've seen a big pullback, and then we look to the left and we can see that lots of long trades have opened up, we now know, okay, this is long trades getting wrecked, right? People who long the high are getting completely wrecked. Then what happens over time, right? We see the same thing, open interest decreasing, right? Negative delta. So these are longs covering, right? We've got 38 million, 33 million, 36 million, 84 million, okay, 120 million there, right? So here, okay, this is what has moved the markets, right? This, right? These long trades, okay, these long trades that opened up here, these retail long trades who longed the high, okay, longed the exact high, right, are the ones that moved the markets. Right, maybe there was a big player there who put a big short position in, which initially pushed the price down slightly, okay, but we have over leveraged long trades who are retail traders at the high, right? They are scared out of their position, right? They are the ones that cover. They are the ones that sell, right? They do it to themselves, okay? And what happens is, again, when there's too many people doing the same thing, right, the complete opposite thing happens, right? The complete opposite thing happens. And that's exactly what has happened here. Exactly what has happened here, right? So we've had, okay, huge amount of longs opening up. Everybody long on the way up, right? We come to the high, everybody's long, 55 million long trades open up. Okay, price pulls back slightly, right? They all get extremely fearful, right? So they get scared out of their position, they cover, they push price lower. Where do they push price into? They push price into long trades from lower prices who were previously comfortable, right, and now are not because they're in a loss. Okay, they're underwater. So they're forced to do the same thing. They're forced to cover. They're forced to sell into the market, right? What do? They push them into their friends, right? They push them into their longs a little bit lower, and it's just that domino effect that brings price down. That's what moves the market, right? Not these not these market manipulators, right? Yes, I understand maybe they manipulate it a little bit because they nudge the market, right? Maybe there was a big player here shorting, right? Okay, with a big sell limit. Well, we can actually. Well, there wasn't actually really. We just saw a price. We just saw a price pull back here. There was no absorption there, so there is no big player there, right? But yeah, it's a thing that's retail traders need to think about, right? It's not they have to blame themselves, right? They have to blame themselves for making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, right? The first mistake is doing what everybody else is doing. The second mistake is entering into the trade that you're entering into. The third mistake is getting fearful. There's too many mistakes that they make, right? Too many mistakes that they make. But what they need to realize is that they are the ones that destroy themselves, not big players like Michael Saylor, like BlackRock, right? It's not them, right? They have just as much. They have just as much as they're allowed, right? They're allowed to trade in these markets. They are allowed. They are important, of course, but it is easy to say Bitcoin will go to 250K in this bull market, but nobody talking we need another 3.8 trillion of market cap for this. Yeah, that's another really important thing to think about as well. And I mean, it's possible, right? It is possible to get another $3.8 trillion of market cap. But the reality of it happening like now, Not really. I don't see that. Yes, in the future, of course, right? Of course, more money is just going to be coming into crypto, into Bitcoin. I understand that. Yes. Now, not really. Okay, it's not really very realistic, is it? Here we like to be realistic. We like to look at the authentic things in the market rather than the nonsense. So again, targeting 250k is a bit nonsense. It's a bit of nonsense, right? It's not impossible, right? It's not impossible, but it's just a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit far fetched at this moment in time. But yeah, 3.8 trillion. It's not like a huge amount we really need in the markets. If you understand how much money there is in the world, okay, it's not really a huge amount, but it's going to take. I'd say still a few more years until we can get that personally, anyway. But of course, if there are any more questions, please do put them in the chat. I'll be happy to take a look at anything or answer anything. I will probably cut it in a few minutes if there are no more questions. I don't want to repeat what I've been saying for the past 10 days. I understand where we are. I understand where it's a little bit boring, right? And I understand that if you're not in a long trade from that low, okay, then or even a short trade from that little short trade setup there, then I understand it's a bit frustrating, right? Because there haven't been any high probability trade setups in my eyes anyway. For me, I'm in a good position, so it's just like literally remaining patient, right? So again, any more questions, please do put them in the chat. Of course, if you don't already as well, please do follow over on Twitter or on X, as I should say now. I'm going to start trying to post some more stuff on there. I understand I've been a bit quiet recently on X. So, make sure you do follow us over there. And of course, if you haven't subscribed already, please do make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. But I think I will leave that there. If there are no more questions, I will leave that there. So I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Of course, if you want access to the Visionary Discord, where I give all of my trades away, you get the daily market updates, get all the good stuff, the juicy stuff. First link in the description, or the free Discord, which is of course the second link in the description. So I will leave that there. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, of course. And any Visionary members, I'll see you over in the Discord. So take care, guys, and I will see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken.